In this video, we're going to start installing Redux and setting it up inside of our project so we can eventually get some action creators and a reducer to reflect whether or not the user is signed in. Once we reflect the authentication state of the user inside of a Redux store, it's going to make building the rest of our application a lot easier. Okay, so to get started, we're going to flip on over to our terminal. I'm going to stop my running server, and we're going to install a couple of dependencies here. So I'll do an npm install --save, and we're going to get Redux and React-Redux as well. Okay, so I'm just going to let those install. While that goes, I'll flip back over to my code editor. Now, for right now, I'm going to close the Google Auth file. I still have this file right here with my client ID. I'm going to close this down. I'm not going to save that file because we already copied the client ID over to our component. And then I'll close down my app.js file as well. All right, so now I'm going to pull open my Folder Explorer over here, and we're going to create some of the files and folders that are typical of a React Redux application. So I'm going to create a new folder inside my src directory called Actions. Inside there, I'll make a action creator file called index.js. So this is going to eventually have all of our action creators inside of it. Next up, I'm going to create another new folder inside the src directory called Reducers. And as usual, I'll make a new file inside there called index.js. Inside the reducers index.js file, I'm going to import combine reducers from Redux, and then I will export default combine reducers with an object, and as the last application, or as in the last application, we're going to put a dummy reducer inside of here just to get our Redux application working. So I'll say something like replace me, and that's going to be a function that always returns a value 5 or 10 or some string, whatever you want it to be. Again, this is just to get Redux working. You don't have to do this at all. If you try to start up your application without one reducer, you're going to very quickly see an error message that says, hey, I need a reducer. All right, so that looks good. So I'm going to close that reducers index.js file and the actions index.js file. And then finally, I'm going to find my src directory and open up the root index.js file, where we initially create our app component and render it onto the screen. All right, so inside of here, it won't be that bad. It's just going to be all the stuff that we've usually done. At the top, we're going to import the provider element from React Redux. We're going to get create store from Redux. Next to our app import, I'm going to also get our reducers. And then finally, we will create our store right here on line 9, and then set up our provider inside the React DOM.render call. So I'll say const store is going to be create store, and I'll pass in my reducers. And then I'll give myself a little bit of space here with the React DOM.render call. And I'm going to wrap that app component with a provider that gets the store as a prop. And don't forget to get the comma in here. That's a really easy thing to miss. Make sure you got a comma on the right-hand side of the closing provider element. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good right here. So I'm going to save this, and then I'll flip back over, and we're just going to make sure that our application still successfully starts up. Oh, totally forgot. We stopped our development server. I'm going to flip back over to my terminal. It looks like those packages were successfully installed, so I'll do an npm start. And I'll just wait a second for the development server to start up. All right, so there we go. And I see everything start up successfully. All right, so this looks fantastic. Let's take a quick pause right here. When we come back to the next section, we're going to start working on some action creators and some authentication reducer as well. So quick pause, and I'll see you in just a minute.